I know math is not the Conservative Party of Canada's forte.
And the budget will balance itself.
So,
installing as well. Here in Honda, I know Honda's already working very closely with the CBTU to make sure that the construction of these new facilities is done in the right way and is always putting the emphasis on Canadian workers, because that's why we're here today. It's about, yes, creating green products that Canadians can rely on into the future, but it's primarily about investing in the workers and the communities that they are part of as these plants get built and as they work for generations to come on building the kinds of products that Canada and indeed the world needs more of.
Adrian Gobriel with CTV National News. My question's for anyone who can answer it clearly. When we're looking at the Honda EV battery plant, how many jobs directly in the plant will be created, and how much is the government paying for each of those jobs through the tax credits and the deal that is on the table?
There is a debate ongoing in politics right now, and the Conservative Party of Canada would have us not make this investment today. They stood against our Volkswagen investment in St. Thomas, Ontario. They decried the investment that we made with Stellantis in Windsor, and they continue to be against government stepping up to invest in good jobs of the future. It's a legitimate debate, but I think they're wrong. As the world is turning towards new ways of manufacturing cleaner products, cleaner vehicles, changing the way we build things, changing what we build, countries around the world are competing for investments. And we know that an investment today in Honda as they build new facilities, new plants that are going to employ 1,000 new workers, that's not just creating jobs, great jobs for 1,000 new people around here. That's contributing to an ecosystem that'll involve parts suppliers. It'll involve communities with vibrant art scenes and strong main streets. It'll involve future generations of Canada building the kinds of solutions the world needs. Yes, there are politicians who sit back and say, no, 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 no. We've got to balance the budget at all costs, even if it means not investing in Canadian workers and investing in the future. Well, I think they're wrong. And that's part of the choice Canadians get to make over the coming year and a half when we get to a federal election. Are we a confident country that invests in ourselves, in our workers, in our future? Or do we sit back and say, okay, we'll let Canadians sort themselves out? I know people here in Alliston, but indeed people right across the country, are incredibly proud of Canada being a world leader in battery manufacturing supply chain. We beat out China for the first time anyone's ever passed in front of that, because Canada is making deliberate investments in the future. So I'm incredibly pleased to be able to be here with a progressive Conservative like Doug Ford, who understands that investing in workers, investing in manufacturing, investing in the future of Ontario is how you build a strong economy for today and for the coming decades.
Well, I guess you have two choices. You don't invest, or you have confidence in the people of Ontario and companies like Honda to create jobs. If you're asking me a number, what do you put a price on 28,000 people being employed? Because if you round it off, 4,000, 4,200, 5,000 jobs times 7, there's 28,000 other people that are going to have spin-off jobs, opportunities to grow. Our great STEM graduates, the future of this province, are going to be able to come here, or the other auto investments around the province. Let me tell you something. In the last 5.5 years, we went from the previous government, provincial previous government, chasing jobs out of this province to a tune of 300,000 to over 700,000 people bringing home better and bigger paychecks because of the policies, because of the partnerships that we've had at all three levels of government, municipal, provincial, and federal partners, investing in the future. This is generational. This is decades and decades down the road. What price do you put?
How many scandals do you think Trudeau has had? I have another video over here showing how many, and it is a lot. And I think shame needs to be brought back into Canada because he has no shame anymore. And I think it just trickles down to everyone underneath him. And that's what's really frustrating about Trudeau. And as far as an election is concerned, obviously there should have been one a year ago. But do you think it'll really be in October 2025? Because his steam, like all he has to do is smile, and for the camera, go on his vacations. There's going to be a new love in his life coming up, probably because he has to, because he needs to take attention away from himself. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think. Let's go back to the video.
All three levels of government, municipal, provincial, and federal partners investing in the future. This is generational. This is decades and decades down the road. What price do you put on that? There is no price you can put on that because we're investing into the people. The money is staying here in Ontario. It's not going overseas. It's not going down to the U.S. It's staying right here in Ontario for decades and generations to come.
So just to be clear, no one's willing to answer the question specifically. How many jobs are being created? And what is the cost for the government deal?
If you're not going to listen to the answer of it saying 1,000 jobs created, then there's nothing we can do for you.
I just said the spin-off jobs, they said 4,200. I'm sure it's going to even get up probably to 5,000. Multiply that by 7. There's your answer. 28 to 35,000 jobs. Not today, not for tomorrow, but for decades to come.
Next question.
One quick follow-up so we can get to my colleagues behind me. There are auto industry members in the room today who say that the government has told Toyota previously that there is no more money on the table for deals. Now that we're standing here today with Honda, is the government willing to go back and sit with Toyota and make a new deal?
Well, thank you for this question. As
today, and consumers and others who want to buy an electric vehicle are concerned they find the price very high. What can change in the next 2 years? First of all, we do recognize that it's important to support consumers in their purchases in order to protect the environment and to improve their quality of life. That is why we have rebates and reimbursements to people who buy electric vehicles. We understand it's a new technology, costs a lot, but with our investments here to help consumers, but also with our investments in the infrastructure, with charging stations being set up throughout the country, and with our incentives for a new building that the charging stations be.
I know math is not the Conservative Party of Canada's forte.
And the budget will balance itself.
So,
included, we are creating the context of the infrastructure in which Canadians can choose to buy an electric vehicle.
And is Chrystia Freeland doing a good job? She is the finance minister and the vice president of Canada. And she is the one that just looks like her head is just spinning when she talks. It's always like trying to drag it on, never answer a question. And maybe they should have this I thought they would always do this. When they ask a question, say, do you mind after you finish it if you give me 5 seconds to say if you answered it or not for our listeners? Because it is so frustrating. Everything is an infomercial with both of them. And that's something that I think needs to be stopped. Maybe the whole Constitution and the human rights and everything needs to be rewritten again after those two are gone, because this is just frustrating what they're doing. Anyway, let's go back to the video.